Imagine a place that gave the world writing, the wheel, and the first laws. Now, picture that same place as the epicenter of global conflict. How did the cradle of civilization become the crucible of chaos? This isn't just history. It's the story of humanity itself, compressed into the next 10 minutes. Forget everything you think you know. We're about to journey through 12,000 years, from the first cities rising from the dust to the empires that shaped our modern world. This is the story of Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, Persia, and the birth of three of the world's major religions. It's a tale of golden ages and devastating collapses, of brilliant scholars and ruthless conquerors. What happened to this powerhouse of innovation? The answer is more complex and far more fascinating than you can imagine. Let's rewind the clock. We begin in the Fertile Crescent, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Around 10,000 BC, hunter-gatherers began to settle, cultivating crops and domesticating animals. This agricultural revolution wasn't just about food. It was the spark that ignited civilization. By 4000 BC, Sumerian city-states like Uruk emerged, inventing cuneiform, the world's first writing system. They built monumental ziggurats, developed complex irrigation, and created the first legal codes, like the Code of Ur-Nammu, long before Hammurabi. Imagine living in a time when the very concept of a city was brand new, a buzzing hub of trade and ideas where humanity's future was being written, quite literally, into clay tablets. This explosion of innovation attracted attention. Soon, empires rose and fell like desert dunes. The Akkadians, led by Sargon the Great, forged the world's first empire around 2334 BC, uniting Sumerian cities under one rule. But their reign was short-lived. The Babylonians followed, with King Hammurabi famously inscribing his laws onto a massive stone stele, a pillar of justice for his people. Simultaneously, along the Nile, the Egyptian civilization flourished, building pyramids that still defy explanation and developing a sophisticated society governed by pharaohs. Believed to be gods on earth, these two powers, Babylonia and Egypt, became the superpowers of their time, clashing and competing for control of the region. But new players were entering the game. The Hittites, masters of iron weaponry, challenged Egypt's might. Then, from the highlands of modern-day Iran, came the Persians. Under Cyrus the Great in the 6th century BC, the Achaemenid Empire became the largest the world had ever seen, stretching from India to Greece. Cyrus was a revolutionary ruler. Instead of crushing conquered peoples, he practiced tolerance, allowing them to keep their customs and religions. He famously freed the Jewish people from Babylonian captivity, earning him a place of honor in the Bible. The Persian Empire became a melting pot of cultures, connected by a revolutionary road system and a standardized currency. It was a golden age of stability and prosperity. This Persian dominance was shattered by a young Macedonian king, Alexander the Great. In a whirlwind campaign, he conquered the entire Persian Empire by 330 BC, ushering in the Hellenistic period. Greek language, art, and philosophy spread throughout the Middle East, blending with local traditions. Cities like Alexandria in Egypt became centers of learning, housing the greatest library of the ancient world. But Alexander's empire fragmented upon his death, creating a power vacuum that a new force from the West was eager to fill. Enter Rome. By the 1st century BC, the Roman Republic, soon to be an empire, had absorbed much of the Hellenistic kingdoms. They were master engineers and administrators, building roads, aqueducts, and cities that standardized life across their vast territory. The Middle East became a vital crossroads in the Roman world, a source of grain and a gateway to the lucrative Silk Road trade routes. It was during this period of Roman rule, in the province of Judea, that a man named Jesus of Nazareth began his ministry. His teachings would form the basis of Christianity, a faith that spread like wildfire throughout the empire, eventually becoming its official religion. The region was now a hotbed of religious transformation. In the 7th century AD, another monumental shift occurred. In the Arabian city of Mecca, the Prophet Muhammad received revelations that would become the Quran, the holy book of Islam. Following his death, his successors, the caliphs, embarked on a series of conquests that were nothing short of astonishing. Within a century, the Islamic Caliphate stretched from Spain to India. Larger than the Roman Empire at its peak, this wasn't just a military conquest. It was a cultural one. The Islamic Golden Age began. Cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cairo became unparalleled centers of science, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy. Scholars preserved and translated the ancient Greek texts lost to Europe during the Dark Ages. They invented algebra, advanced astronomy, and pioneered medical techniques that are still in use today. For centuries, the Middle East was the intellectual and cultural center of the world. But this golden age couldn't last forever. Internal divisions, particularly the Sunni-Shia split, created fractures, then came to major invasions. From the west, the Christian Crusaders launched a series of holy wars to reclaim Jerusalem, leading to 2 centuries of brutal conflict. From the east, a far more devastating threat emerged: the Mongols. In 1258, they sacked Baghdad, massacring its population and destroying the House of Wisdom, a symbolic end to the Islamic Golden Age. The region was left fractured and weakened. Out of the ashes of the Mongol invasions, a new power rose: the Ottoman Turks. Starting as a small state in Anatolia, they expanded rapidly. In 1453, they achieved the unthinkable: the conquest of Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, ending 1,000 years of Roman legacy. The Ottoman Empire would go on to rule vast swaths of the Middle East, North Africa, and southeastern Europe for over 600 years. For a time, it was a global superpower, a stable and well-administered empire. But by the 19th century, weakened by internal corruption and failing to keep pace with Europe's Industrial Revolution, it became known as the sick man of Europe. The final blow came with World War I. The Ottomans sided with Germany and lost. In the aftermath, British and French diplomats, in secret, drew lines on a map. The Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916 carved up the former Ottoman territories into spheres of influence, creating the artificial borders of the modern Middle East: Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan. These were new constructs, lumping together diverse ethnic and religious groups without regard for their history. This act set the stage for much of the conflict that would follow. The discovery of vast oil reserves in the 20th century turned the region into a strategic chessboard for global powers, particularly the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. The establishment of Israel in 1948 added another deeply complex layer, leading to a series of wars and a conflict that continues to this day. From the dawn of civilization to the complex geopolitics of today, the history of the Middle East is a powerful, often tragic, but endlessly fascinating story. It's a testament to human ingenuity, faith, and the enduring struggle for power. Understanding this history is not just about understanding one region. It's about understanding the forces that have shaped our entire world. If this journey through time sparked your curiosity, make sure to subscribe to the Timekeeper HQ. We dive deep into the stories that define our world, one moment at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.